Once in a lifetime, a competitor comes along who shines a bit brighter than the rest. But eventually, stars fade. So who is Carl Campbell?
He's my son.
Carl was the best. The best.
Carl Campbell was a prick.
He's the most tragic sports story since Lou Gehrig.
Ever since he was a little tyke, he was always so good at bowling. One day, he walked up to me and he said, "I'm going to Vegas to go bowling, Mom." I said, "No, you're not." But the fire of bowling was too deep in his soul.
Campbell quickly rose through amateur leagues to earn his spot in the 1984 Las Vegas Showboat Invitational. At 17, he was the youngest competitor to ever do so.
Let's see, I met Carl in the Showboat, and I want to say it was 1984. Yeah, you could see it in his eyes. He just wanted to rule the world. I mean the bowling world, of course. And, he wasted no time showing how good he was.
Carl went on to place second at the tournament behind Billiams, making his the highest placement ever for a rookie at any World Tour event.
Oh, yeah, that might have been the only time I outplaced him. I was on my way out as a pro bowler, so I started to train with him and even became his mentor. I think within a year, he was already on his way to PBA Worlds.
To have such a young player win the most prestigious tournament in the world would certainly turn heads, but not without making enemies along the way.
Oh, Tito. Oh, yeah, he was definitely the first one to get all flustered with Carl's trajectory to the top.
Flustered? No. I was upset because bowling is a man's game, and you can only bowl if you've lived with the pains of being a man for long enough, and Carl was no man. He was a kid who bowled like an idiot, and everyone swooned over him because he was young. But I wasn't losing worlds to some circus monkey.
Was I scared about going into Worlds? Oh goodness, no. Tito just made a big thing about it, and then we got pictures of us staring at each other, It was actually kind of fun.
It was not for fun. I was being serious.
When we got to Worlds, I remember Billy telling me that I should try to win, so I did try, and then I won. So that was pretty cool.
I had never seen in my entire life a better bowling prowess than what Carl did that day. After he won, he came up to me and he said, "Oh, you want to go to McDonald's or something, eh?" And I had to shake him. And I was like, Carl, do you know what you just did? Do you know what you just did, Carl?
Well, we did go to McDonald's. I remember because I got a Shamrock Shake. They don't have those in Canada, so I was really excited about that, more so than winning, probably.
From there on out, Carl Campbell started a run of dominance that would shake the bowling world forever.
The man was unstoppable.
To be completely honest, the year Carl entered the circuit, I won so few tournaments that I had to sell my condominium in the Keys.
He was on top of the world, the bowling world. But my mom always told me that at the bottom of every boat is a few barnacles.
Dubbed the Russian bad boy of bowling, Oleg was one of the most notorious hustlers in the league.
These guys were bad news. They challenged anyone who rose to the top echelon of the game. Always in money matches and gambling. It was a cheap ploy to make some money, and a lot of people fell for it.
These guys in sunglasses came up to me at a major one time, and they said, "Yeah, you're pretty good, but I bet you can't bowl with us." So naturally, I had to prove them wrong. It just so happened that around that time, I found out what hard drugs were.
They showered him with all the substances you could think of. The Russians had Carl right in the palm of their hand.
Oh, it was great. I felt like I was bowling, but I had the strength of the Hulk or something. I was bowling 300 every time.
Carl was absolute garbo playing high. And the Russians kept doping him up and playing him until they took all his money. By the end of the day, he was broker than Oliver from that Charles Dickey book. After that, he was spiraling pretty low. He was entering amateur bowling tournaments under a fake disguise and just trying to win prize money. That was the last straw for me. It was really hard for me to see Carl like that.
Oh yeah, those were fun. It gave me more money to buy drugs. I felt kind of bad about beating all those kids though, but it was their fault because they were bad at the game.
The USBC has very strict rules when it comes to competing in amateur matches. Eventually, the law caught up to him.
Campbell was brought to trial before the United States Bowling Congress on several counts of bowling fraud and violating the Pro Bowling Association guidelines.
My first thought when I got that court order was, well, like, wait, there's a Congress for bowling? It was pretty funny and stuff until they gave me a lawyer, and then I was like, oh, this is kind of serious.
The trial was sobering. To see this invincible god of the game be brought so low, it was horrific.
Best television I ever saw.
After a fiery 4 days, Campbell was found guilty on all counts and sentenced to a 35-year ban from the pro circuit.
There was outrage in the bowling community, boycotts of major tournaments. But despite all this, the people still supported him. He was undeniable in that way.
When the news about Campbell broke, I may have danced around the lanes like a toddler, but if I'm being honest with myself, the world of bowling just wasn't the same without him.
His mark on the bowling world was forever made, but finding a new path proved to be arduous.
Yeah, I tried a lot of things to entertain myself after that happened. I tried polo, water polo, hiking, getting married, getting divorced, having children, forget I had children. But none of those things could really fill the ball-shaped hole in my heart. Oh wait, that came out wrong. Well, it's not exactly the pro circuit, but teaching those little kids how to play really does strike something in me.